You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Welcome back to the 10th podcast of the Eclectic Traveler. 2 more and we will conclude the first season. Thank you for your support here in the United States, in Latin America, in Anglo and Latin Europe. While there are very few that listen to this podcast, I can only say you are all very valuable to me. Thank you for your willingness to see what I come up with. Peace and love to you all. Today, I decided to do nothing but to take my mind far from stupid commercials, TV shows, tragedies, anything that can make me feel hopeless. So, why don't we find something inspiring and uplifting out there? I mean, how bad could it be? Let's see, let's check the rating.
14 dead, 50 injured.
Oh no.
Well, say you're a cocaine dealer, and you kind of look like one a little bit.
22.
Chiririca, no way. Okay, let's turn it off.
My shoulder strap used to
Wait,
pull
I
so
turned it
tight
up.
I could hardly breathe.
Call now and we'll give you a second titty bear absolutely free.
Titty bear.
Introducing the Euro Club, the discreet sanitary solution for
urine
your
club.
urgent relief.
Okay, so let... Okay, I'm sorry about this. Some technical difficulties. I mean, it seems like the radio has a mind of its own today. Oh my goodness.
South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere, like.
Just so much negativity today. Oh my, what was that? You hear that? Rigoberto, Hingislao, grab your guns, load them up.
Yes, sir.
To those listening, it appears that all this negativity is alive. Too many. So much negativity. Quick. Quick, the grenade. As I was saying, we need to break free from all the noise and negative feedback streaming from our devices, telling us things are hopeless, sending voices of rhetoric that divides and labels us in many different ways. Black, white, rich, upper class, lower middle class, and there are so many others. All this is not the proper way to appreciate each other's differences. It's oftentimes subliminally used to classify each other. No. Guys, this is serious. I really mean this. Music back on, please. Music back on. In all seriousness, this all makes us forget the most precious common denominator that we all have. A common denominator that is always left behind and is placed with so much disregard that we often forget who we are, making you insensitive and apathetic to human suffering. If you don't think, therefore you don't exist. The common denominator that I'm referring to is the fact that we are human beings, and our value is unmeasurable. We are not born evil. We're not the center of everything, but indeed, our life is meant to be kept in peace. From China to Canada, from Russia to Brazil, from South Africa, from any corner of the world. As human beings, we are all connected. Thus, we share more than we think we do. You that are listening, yes, you and I have lots of things in common. Starting with the fact that we hold the same biological constitution, form, and shape. Our reaction to other human emotions and actions is very similar. Allow me to present you Executive Vice President of Video BuzzFeed, American artist, humorist, and public speaker. From the best speech he's made on TED Talks, Z Frank, with a serious and somewhat humorous test called Are You Human?
This is the human test. A test to see if you are a human. Please raise your hand if something applies to you. Are we agreed? Yes? Then let's begin. Have you ever eaten a booger long past your childhood? It's okay, it's safe here. Have you ever made a small, weird sound when you remembered something embarrassing? Have you ever purposely lowercased the first letter of a text in order to come across as sad or disappointed? Okay. Have you ever ended a text with a period as a sign of aggression? Okay. Period. Have you ever laughed or smiled when someone said something shitty to you and then spent the rest of the day wondering why you reacted that way? Yes. Have you ever seemed to lose your airplane ticket 1,000 times as you walked from the check-in to the gate? Yes. Have you ever put on a pair of pants and then much later realized that there was a loose sock smushed up against your thigh? Good. Have you ever tried to guess someone else's password so many times that it locked their account? Have you ever had a nagging feeling that one day you will be discovered as a fraud? Yes, it's safe here. Have you ever hoped that there was some ability you hadn't discovered yet that you were just naturally great at? Have you ever broken something in real life and then found yourself looking for an undo button in real life? Have you ever misplaced your TED badge and then immediately started imagining what a 3-day Vancouver vacation might look like? Have you ever marveled at how someone you thought was so ordinary could suddenly become so beautiful? Have you ever stared at your phone smiling like an idiot while texting with someone? Have you ever subsequently texted that person the phrase, "I'm staring at the phone, smiling like an idiot"? Have you ever been tempted to and then gave in to the temptation of looking through someone else's phone? Have you ever had a conversation with yourself and then suddenly realized you're a real asshole to yourself? Has your phone ever run out of a battery in the middle of an argument and it sort of felt like the phone was breaking up with both of you? Have you ever thought that working on an issue between you was futile because it should just be easier than this, or this is supposed to happen just naturally? Have you ever realized that very little in the long run just happens naturally? Have you ever woken up blissfully and suddenly been flooded by the awful remembrance that someone had left you? Have you ever lost the ability to imagine a future without a person that no longer was in your life? Have you ever looked back on that event with the sad smile of autumn and the realization that futures will happen regardless? Congratulations. You have now completed the test. You are all human.
I believe we're defined as humans as we find ourselves in other people's minds. But how do we contemplate death? Many of us won't think about it in a personal way. But the truth is that as a human being, we will all die. And whether you believe death is a new beginning or not, whether it comes in a tragic way or not, when that time comes, how will you tell your story? With you, artist Sage Francis, with a powerful reflection about the insights he has had during his lifetime. In his music video, he shares all these thoughts in the day of his funeral, while touching and looking at his own coffin. And funny this is, we can all relate to many things he will say. This song is called The Best of Times.
It's been a long and lonely trip, but I'm glad I took it, because it was well worth it. Got to read a couple books and do some research before I reached my verdict. Never thought that I was perfect, always thought that I had a purpose. I used to wonder if I'd live to see my first kiss. The most difficult thing that I did was recite my own words at a service, realizing the person I was addressing probably wasn't looking down from heaven, or cooking up something in Hell's Kitchen, trying to listen in or eavesdrop from some other dimension. It was self-serving, just like this is. Conveniently religious. On Easter Sunday and on Christmas, the television went from being a babysitter to a mistress. Technology made it easy for us to stay in touch while keeping a distance, so we just stayed distant and never touched. Now all we do is text too much. I don't remember much from my youth, maybe my memory is repressed, or I just spent too much time wondering if I'd live to have sex. I fell in love for the first time in 4th grade, but I didn't have the courage to talk to her. In 8th grade, I wrote the note and slipped it in somebody else's locker. Considered killing myself because of that. It was a big deal. It was a blown cover. It was over for me. My goose was cooked. Stick a fork in me. The jig is up. Blew my chances. The rest is history. Our future was torn asunder. It became abundantly clear I was only brought here to suffer. At least I didn't include my name. Thankfully, I wrote the whole note in code, and it had 10 layers of Scotch tape safety seal, making it impossible to open. Plus, it was set to self-destruct. Whoever read it probably died laughing. I wonder if they lived long enough to realize what happened. A year later, I came to understand that wasn't love that I was feeling for her. I had someone else to obsess over. I was older, I was very mature. I forged my time signature while practicing my parents' autograph, cause I was failing math. Disconnected the phone when I thought the teacher would call my home. Checked the mailbox twice a day. At the end of a long dirt road, seemed to open a couple envelopes, like I was in private detective mode. If you snoop around long enough for something in particular, you're guaranteed to find it. For better or worse, that's how I learned it's best to just keep some things private. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. Best of times, the end of times. I was always on deck, I was next in line. An only child with a pen and pad, writing a list of things I could never have. Walls in my house were paper thin, every squabble seemed to get deafening. If my memory served me correctly, it made it a point to avoid and forget some things. Probably to keep from being embarrassed. Never meant to upset or give grief to my parents. Kept my secrets, hidden my talents in my head, never under the mattress. Therapy couldn't break me. Never learned a word that would ensure safety, so I spoke softly. Then I tiptoed off, and the door to my room was like a big old coffin. The way that it creaked when I closed it shut. Anxieties peaked when it opened up, as if everything that I was thinking would be exposed. I still sleep fully clothed. It was the best of times. It was beautiful, it was brutal, it was cruel, it was business as usual, heaven, it was hell. Used to wonder if I lived to see 12. When I did, I figured that I was immortal. Loved to dance but couldn't make it to the formal. Couldn't bear watching my imaginary girlfriend bust a move with any other dudes. Tone Look was talking about a wild thing, but I was still caught up in some child things. Scared of a god who couldn't spare the rod. It was clearly a brimstone and fire thing. Pyromaniac, kleptomaniac, couldn't explain my desire to steal that fire. Now I add it to my rider, like please don't throw me in that patch of briar. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. The school counselor was clueless, cause I never skipped classes. Perfect attendance, imperfect accent, speech impediment they could never really fix. And I fake bad eyesight so I could wear glasses. Consider doing something that would cripple me. Wanted a wheelchair, wanted the sympathy, wanted straight teeth, so then came braces. 4 years of headgear helped me change faces. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. Now I wonder if I live to see marriage. Wonder if I live long enough to have kids. Wonder if I live to see my kids have kids. If I do, I'ma tell them how it is. But don't listen when they tell you that these are your best years. Don't let anyone protect your you to hear. Better to have pressure from peers than not have peers. Bear won't give you chest hair. Spicy food won't make it curl. When you think you got it all figured out and then everything collapses, trust me, kid, it's not the end of the world.
What a wonderful song. Please, if you didn't get all the lyrics, look them up. Now, let me go to the other side of the spectrum. All of us don't remember the experience of being born. We have learned of it as we have seen others come to life. It says his life itself was telling us to find ourselves through the experiences of others, and seeing others, the fact that we are one. I want to leave you with a song in Spanish, whose title translates to Life. Breathe a Moment. From a group that has evolved drastically in its music and lyrics. From Puerto Rico, a song that talks about our human life and the joy of being a human. Please, if you don't speak Spanish, find a translation of the lyrics later. But for now, just enjoy it. May we look each other as human beings, beyond race, ethnicity, language. This is Calle 13.
Stai ascoltando il viaggiatore eclettico.
Uno nace mientras el planeta gira, los pulmones abren, la nariz respira, escuchamos al mundo con todo su alboroto, los párpados suben y los ojos tiran fotos, y salimos de la cuna para dormir en la cama, nos crecen los brazos como crecen las ramas, como crecen las hojas, nos crecen las manos como crecen los días cuando madruga temprano, los segundos, los minutos y las horas germinan, así como los días empiezan y terminan, los meses se disfrazan según el meridiano, otoño, invierno, primavera, verano, y se ajusta el camino a nuestros pasos, así como el agua se adapta a su vaso, nuestro corazón se aclimata a la altura y nos adaptamos a cualquier aventura, pueden sumar con prisa, pueden restar con calma, da igual porque las matemáticas no tienen alma, aunque calculemos todo y le pongamos nombre propio, nuestro espíritu no lo pueden ver los microscopios, nadie se puede acobardar, nacimos siendo valientes, porque respirar es arriesgar, este es el momento de agarrar el impulso, las emociones las narra nuestro pulso. Respira el momento. La historia se expande desde lo más simple hasta lo más grande. Crecimos junto a los cuerpos celestes. Somos el norte, sureste y oeste. Somos la tierra con todas sus huellas. Una supernova entre todas las estrellas. Absorbemos la luz de los rayos mientras la clorofila navega por los tallos. Los grados y centígrados calientan los termómetros a 150 millones de kilómetros. Hay una vía láctea repleta de neuronas porque reproducimos más ideas que personas. No somos pequeños ni muy grandes tampoco. Somos muchos y también somos pocos. Somos el golpe cuando aterriza y también somos la piel cuando cicatriza. La muerte nunca nos venció porque todo lo que muere es porque alguna vez nació. Lengua, beso, boca boca, labio, niño, joven, viejo, sabio, calvo, rizo, pelo, lacio, techo, casa, cielo, espacio, sexo, orgasmo, se humedece, quizás nunca, siempre, a veces, libro, letra, cuento, narra, ron con hielo, trago, barra, 3 millones de latidos en un periodo mensual, caminamos dando 10,000 pasos en un día normal, crudo, hervido, asado, frito, guerra, iglesia, rezo, grito, muy poquito, demasiado, corro, vuelo, salto, nado, puede llegar algún día el colmo de la biología, vivir con sangre caliente pa' morir a sangre fría.